just got a new friend for Buddy, and these two are just meeting each other for the first time. Buddy is the darker one, and the caramel albino is the new one. I have to be very careful. If they are males, they will fight. I don't know Buddy's gender or the new one's gender. If they're both girls, I'm told that they should be okay together. If one's a male and one's a female, they will be together and they'll probably mate. But if they're males, they will fight. But isn't it weird? Look at how their bodies are touching and reacting to each other. I decided Buddy was kind of looking lonely in this big cage all by himself. The lighter one is, I have a younger version of this color. It's an albino, and I think it's maybe a caramel albino. It has red eyes. And it's not full grown. Buddy is a full grown Cornsnake, but the other one is not. But he or she is pretty close. I'm encouraged. They're not fighting yet. I would be making this with my camera, but it doesn't have any battery right now, so I'm using my phone, which will be a really short video, but I wanted to capture the moment when they first meet each other. And we'll just see how it happens. I'm going to be home for the next 2 days. I can watch them and see if they fight. If they fight, I'll have to make other arrangements, obviously. So there you go. Buddy meets his new companion for the first time. It's a really pretty snake. For 50 bucks, it's like, shoot, couldn't resist. Cornsnakes are super, super nice snakes. And cornsnakes and king snakes both I really like. So there you go. Just wanted to get that on film. Okay, this is them meeting some more first contact stuff between the two snakes. Again, I love how they're rubbing their bodies on each other and kind of getting to know each other. I'm hoping they don't fight. Again, I still don't know what their genders are. I've always assumed Buddy's a male, but that's just, you know, you got to give them some kind of gender. I really don't know. If they fight, I'm going to have to make other arrangements, obviously. He's been by himself for 3 years in this tank. So, and they are territorial animals. So everything in this tank is Buddy's. Buddy's water dish, Buddy's branch, Buddy's tree. It's all Buddy's. I did change out the substrate so his smell isn't quite as prevalent in the tank right now. If they turn out to be two females, they should be okay together. Male-female might even end up with eggs. And this would be a lot easier to handle cornsnake eggs, because these snakes don't get nearly as big as boas. And they do lay eggs. They don't lay live like boas do. They lay eggs. In fact, today I saw the eggs, and they look just like bird eggs. They're white and round like bird eggs, but they're obviously, they feel different. They don't have the same kind of shell. The shell feels more leathery. But right now, I'll just be happy if they get along. I would be just as happy if they were two females. I don't need to have a breeding program of corn snakes. But look at the pretty colors. I love the contrasting colors, and I'm hoping that they can stay together in this tank. Certainly Buddy is having an interesting day. He's kind of looked bored for a while, and he's having a very interesting day, and I think a friend would be a good thing for him or her. Okay, so that's the second video. I could just stand here and do this all day. It's really kind of a fascinating first encounter between these two snakes. But I think if they were going to fight, they probably would have by now. This looks more like, oh, and I guess when they fight, they thrash really hard against each other. Like Buddy's doing right there a little bit, only a lot harder. It's kind of like they whip each other with their bodies. At least that's how I'm told they fight. So, I mean, it could still happen. But the little albino Carmel seems to be very fond of him. He or she is reacting very sweetly. It's it's Buddy that seems to be the one that's doing all the jerking more than the other one. But again, this is his turf, or her turf. So he or she is intruding here on Buddy's space. So he has a right, or she, to be a little bit. This continues. I was kind of hoping it would tone down by now, but it continues. Buddy just seems to be getting increasingly agitated. And I'm worrying that they might actually turn out to be both males. That will be a bummer if that's the way it is, because that means he'll end up going back to being a solo snake. It's such a pretty new one. I really like the snake. Wasn't planning on getting one today, but it's hard to resist the coloring on that. For 50 bucks, it was like, wow. It's a big tank, 40 gallons. But they're both pretty large snakes, so really it's not that big for the size of the snake. Having two in a 40-gallon is basically making it a 20-gallon for each snake, as far as territory or whatever. But today I saw two corn snakes in a tank this size that were cuddled together. Actually, I think that might have been a 50-gallon. Well, there's nothing I can do to change the outcome here. It's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. See, the quick jerky motions are what have me concerned about Buddy. The other one seems to really just want to be, friendly. So I will probably post later what the final outcome is, if I end up separating them or if they stay together. This might go on for an hour or two, I don't know, or maybe a couple days. But if I start hearing, I was told if I start hearing slamming noises in this tank, they're fighting and I need to separate them. I just like watching them kind of intertwine. It's pretty and it's kind of wild, and I don't know, it's just something you don't just see every day. Two snakes getting to know each other, Either a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know yet.